The galaxy cried for help. Humanity responded in fire and thunder. HFY. Enemy plasma bolts shattered the outer defense ring. Envoy Tressa Null gripped her console as alerts screamed across the bridge. Ket Rax's raiders poured through the breach, black-hulled predators swarming like locusts. "Emergency vote now!" Tressa barked into the galactic comms. Her voice cut through the chaos, sharp as a vibroknife. "All coalition worlds, authorize full retreat or we lose Epsilon Prime." Hollow screens flickered. Votes trickled in. Slow, panicked. The Vexari abstained. The quarrel demanded more time. Tressa slammed her crest against the bulkhead. Rax's ships already lanced groundside, glassing habitats. Civilian shuttles dotted the scopes, fleeing too late. A Coral delegate's face appeared. "Envoy, we cannot abandon. They're cracking the Atmos shield." Tressa snapped. Her claws dug into the armrest. Another salvo hit. A station exploded in silent fire. Boats hit quorum. Retreat approved by a thread. Tressa exhaled. One world saved. 3 others burned in her mind. Admiral Sorenval watched the holodisplay fracture. His frigate shuddered under evasive burns. Rax's blitz had gutted the line. 3 core worlds gone to buy this corridor. "Mark the route," Soren ordered. His voice stayed level, mandibles clicking softly. "All ships, fall back to Vector 7. Protect the evac convoys." Bridge crew relayed commands. Coalition vessels scattered. A ragged flock. Soren's people, the Lyroxi, excelled at shields. Thick, regenerating barriers that turned hits into heat. But Rax hit faster. Terror strikes that forced bad choices. "Admiral," the humans jumped in. His sensor officer rasped. Behind the enemy van, Soren's eye stalks whipped up. Human signatures bloomed on the plot. Sleek, angular hulls, no fanfare, 24 ships, engines hot. An open channel crackled, a human voice, calm female tone. "Coalition forces, this is Captain Marakeen, UNS Vanguard. Who's in charge of the shooting?" Soren froze, mid-massacre, and they asked protocol? Captain Marakeen scanned the carnage from Vanguard CIC. Wreckage spun in the void. Coalition ships bled atmosphere. Rax's raiders danced through the gaps, untouchable. Her fleet materialized clean. No warp echoes, precise in-system jump. Logistics drilled into bone. Arrive loaded. Ready. Target locks acquired, Commander Ilex Juno reported. Juno's fingers flew over the fire control board. Orbital batteries primed. ROE strict. Military targets only. Keen nodded. "Hail them again. Coalition command. Hand over targeting authority. We'll plug the hole." The reply stuttered through translation filters. The Raxite accent. Admiral rank. "Captain Keen, this is Admiral Sorenval. Authority granted, but coordinate. Our people panic." "Understood." Keen cut the line. No time for debate. Juno, launch decoys. Full pattern. Ghost signatures. Drones rocketed from Vanguard's bays. 50 micro-launchers, each mimicking a heavy cruiser. Active sensors, drive flares, even dummy missile blooms. Keen's crews built them cheap, disposable. Stubborn logistics. Outlast the enemy by wasting less. Rax's fleet reacted. Warlord Ket Rax leaned into his command throne. Fangs bared. Human ghosts lit his scopes. Big signatures, clumsy vectors. "Fire everything," he growled. "Crush the reinforcements." His raiders unleashed. A full salvo. 600 missiles, plasma lances, streaked toward the decoys. Explosions bloomed. Bright and futile. Ghosts vaporized. Real humans ghosted through the kill zone untouched. Ket snarled. "Reload. Find the cores." Keen watched the plot. Enemy ammo counters ticked down. Her fleet slid into position. Unmolested. "Juno, designate primaries," Keen said. "Raiders only." Surgical drops. "Aye, Captain." Juno's eyes narrowed on the board. Humans paired precision with discipline. No wild sprays. ROE locked kinetics to confirmed military hulls. No cities, no civies. First barrage fell. Railguns spat slugs at relativistic speeds. Rax's lead raider crumpled. Engines gutted. Coalition cheers flooded the net. Tressa Null stared at her repeater feed. Human drones lured the salvo. Rax wasted ordnance on shadows. Now their guns spoke. Clean hits. No overkill. She patched to Soren's flag. "Admiral, the humans..." They turned the flank. Sorin's image nodded, relief cracking his facade. Evac convoys clear the gravity well. But Rax pivots, straight at us. Keen's voice cut in on open channel. Coalition, sync your shields to our pattern. Lyroxy barriers plus human kinetics. We'll hold the corridor. Tressa's crest flushed. Humans demanded trust mid-fight. She mistrusted their violence. Too disciplined, too endless. But they bled fuel and drones for strangers. Do it, Sorin ordered fleet-wide. Vanguard shuddered as Rax's counterfire grazed. Keen gripped her chair. Logistics check. Ammo 70%. Drones restocking via tenders. Stubborn math. Secondaries locked, Juno called. Firing orbital fires. Slugs rained. Another raider pair shattered. Rax's formation fractured. Speed raid tactics choked by the human wall. Ket Rax roared orders. His ships burned hot, flanking wide. Terror worked on fractured foes. Hit, run, repeat. But humans stood. Logistics drones resupplied them mid-burn. Break contact, Ket spat. Regroup at the relay point. Raiders peeled off, engines flaring. Keen let half escape. No pursuit, save the ammo for the next wave. Corridor secure, she announced. Coalition, jump when ready. We'll escort. Tressa watched the last Civi shuttle punch out. Epsilon Prime's ruins smoldered below. But the people lived. Humans bought that with decoys and slugs. Sorin hailed Keen privately. Captain, you're scheduling. It held where we broke. Keen's hollow shrugged. Just math, Admiral. Who's next on the board? Tressa cut her own channel. Sharp-tongued doubt faded. Humans fought like they planned parties. Calm, endless supply. For aliens they'd never met. Rax's remnants hyperspaced out. Keen's fleet formed up. Tenders chugging fresh drones. The galaxy's collapse paused. One stubborn logistics chain at a time. Juno glanced up. Enemy warlord's signature. Ket Rax confirmed. He's pissed. Keen smiled faintly. Good.
Means we're on schedule.
Alarms pinged anew. Relay point scopes lit. Rax massing for round 2. Bigger salvo this time. Plot intercept. Keen said. And ping the coalition. Trust the shooting to us. Keen's console flashed red. Rax's raiders coalesced at the relay point. 40 hulls, missiles hot. Bigger than the last scrap. Her fleet numbered 24. Tenders trailing like stubborn mules. Coalition flag hailing. Ensign Rao reported, patch it. Keen kept eyes on the plot. Sorin's scaled face filled the hollow, frills quivering. Captain Keen, sensors confirm enemy massing. Our timetable demands surrender relay in 30 minutes. Evacuate what we can, then yield the node. Keen tapped her board. Timer spun up. Negative, Admiral. Counterstrike launches in 12. Form up behind us. We'll punch the hole. Sorin's eyes widened. You can't dictate coalition ops. Member species vote. Vote later. Fight now. Keen cut the line. Helm, hard burn to intercept. Logistics, spool drones. Juno, eyes on targets. Commander Ilix Juno leaned into her station. Fingers danced over targeting overlays. Heat maps bloomed across the main plot. Civilian clusters on the relay world's orbitals, huddled in bunkers. Mapping signatures, Juno said. 3 million non-coms in Grid 7 Alpha. Enemy staging there. Blocking all fire solutions, risking cities. Keen nodded. Rules tight. Surgical only. No splash. Juno's feeds locked warship signatures. Raider corvettes danced evasion patterns, but her algorithms pinned them. Firing blocks uploaded. Ordnance green on military nodes. Rax's fleet surged forward. Mines flickered to life ahead. His trap, seated on the approach vector. Proximity klaxons wailed. Minefield density critical, sensors warned. Keen gripped her armrest. Coalition transports lagged behind, fat with evacuees. No dodging this soup. Helm straight burn through it. Angle hull plating starboard. We'll tank for the civies. Officers exchanged glances. Rao swallowed. Ma'am, plating breach probability, 92%. Execute. Keen watched the plot. Her cruiser, the UNS Relentless, plunged in first. Mines detonated in chains. Plaza blooms. Scorched armor. Hull groaned. Alarm screamed hull integrity drops. Shields at 47. Damage control barked. Starboard bays venting. Coalition transports slipped the gauntlet unscathed. their captains gaping at the readouts. Keen's voice stayed level. Keep formation. Tenders. Patch us mid-burn. Drones swarmed from the logistics ships. Nine-eyed sprayers sealed breaches. Fresh plating modules clamped on. Relentless shuddered, but held. Tressinol's shuttle trailed the fleet. The alien envoy gripped her console, recording every hit. Human hulls glowed under minefire. Taking blasts meant for her people's arcs, she keyed her secure burst. Footage beamed to wavering council worlds. Vexari, Thalor Prime, Witness. Her subtitle read. Humans shield us, literally. Soren's next hail buzzed insistent. Keen. Your losses. Insane. Pull back. Engagement in 3, Keen replied. Watch and learn. Plot closed. Rack's wolves bared fangs. Missile salvos lanced out. Juno's guns roared first. Relentless's spinal railguns spat tungsten slugs. Precision fire gutted lead raiders. No cities touched. Targets down, Juno called. Civilian grids clear. Rax's voice boomed over open channels, guttural translator straining. Terrans, you bleed for scraps. Yield or burn. Keen's fleet answered with broadsides. Carriers flushed drone swarms. Cheap chaff soaked enemy missiles. Logistics tenders pumped reloads. Ammo chains unbroken. Racks flanked wide. Terra doctrine kicking in. Hit fast, force bad choices. But Keen scheduled it tighter. Flankers, Vector Beta, cut their legs, or destroyers burned intercept, plating scarred but engines hot. They slammed into Rax's wings. Point defense lasers diced incoming fire. Slugs punched engines. One destroyer buckled. Kestrel. Bridge gone. Crew compartments vented. Keen marked it. Honor holds. Press. Coalition ships hung back. Soren's battle line finally committing. Their plasma lances carved support roles precise where humans brute forced. Humans lead. Soren broadcast. We follow. Tressa patched through. Captain. Council feeds live. Your burns. They're rallying votes. No surrenders now. Good math, Keen said. Plot updated. Rax down to 28 hulls. His center buckled. Warlord Ket Rax snarled in his flagship's gloom. Human slugs riddled his flanks. Logistics? They resupplied under fire. Madness. All ships. Terror strike. Core breached their tenders. Raiders dove. Explosions bloomed. 2 human drones vaporized. But tenders jinked, spitting countermeasures. Keen's voice cut the chaos. Counter battery. Juno, paint their flag. Juno's overlays locked Rax's behemoth. Orbital fire cued. Bombardment surgical. Shipyards only. Relentless's batteries elevated. Macro cannons thundered. Shells arced down, slamming raider docks. Flames erupted across the relay orbitals. No cities, just enemy logistics in ruin. Rax's fleet fractured. Half peeled off, hyperspace flares. The rest fought ragged. Keen's survivors closed the noose. Cease fire on runners, she ordered. Save fuel. Soren's frills flared triumph. Node held, Captain. Casualties. Minimal. Thanks to you. Keen scanned damage tallies. Relentless's plating hung in tatters. Kestrel's wreck tumbled cold. Minimal's relative. Tenders. Status. Full resupply in 5, logistics chief replied. Drones already swarmed. Tressa forwarded final clips. Humans patching holes mid-battle. Checklists unbroken. Wavering states pledged fleets. Rax's last transmission spat static. This relay just won. More worlds fall. His flag jumped out. Keen leaned back. Next board's open, Admiral. Who's buying the future? Alarms pinged fresh. Long-range scopes lit. Rax's main force. Inbound. Not remnants. The hammer. Juno looked up. They're all in now. Keen smiled. Plot the party. Soren stared at the readouts. Human scars bought time. But the galaxy's extinction war raged on, one checklist at a time. Keen's bridge crew braced. Tenders chugged ammo. Coalition ships slotted in. Trust forged in fire. Rax massed 200 strong. Keen tapped her timer. 12 minutes to rewrite the math. Helm, Relentless burned ahead, armor pitted but defiant. The fleet followed. Tressa whispered to her recorder. Saviors? No, accountants with guns. Slugs flew. Logistics held. The galaxy watched. Humans, scheduled victory. Warlord Ket Rax's flankers punched through the Coalition's outer picket. Captain Mara Keen watched the scopes ignite. Red icons swarmed toward her carrier group. 80 raiders, light and vicious, slicing past Soren's lumbering heavies. Rax aimed to gut her tenders, starve the fight before it started. Comms blackout, Keen ordered. Kill all channels. No chatter, no beacons. Her comms officer blinked. Captain, that paints us blind to the Admiral. Now. Keen's voice stayed flat. Relentless went dark. No IFF pings. No status bursts. Just a ghost carrier adrift in the debris field. Rax's flag snarled over open freaks. Coalition channels erupted in panic. Soren's frills broadcast fury. Tress's voice cut through in broken English. Humans. Respond. The line fractures. Silence from Relentless. Keen's bridge crew held breath. Bait set. Rax bit. His flankers curved in. Accelerators hot. They chased the adrift carriers, ignoring Soren's desperate volleys. Terror strike primed. Boarding skiffs prepped to crack hulls, sow fear in the galaxy's watchers. Timer? Keen asked. 4 minutes to knife range, Helm replied. Juno's voice crackled internal line. Point defense hot, ma'am. Missiles inbound, 200 salvos. Fire bursts, Keen said. Timed. Build the wall. Relentless's turrets spat fire in precise stabs. Half-second pulses. Then dark. Incoming missiles detonated early, shredded by lasers. Debris bloomed. A churning cloud. 5 clicks out. Rax's salvos fed it. Turning to shrapnel storms, enemy raiders jinked. First losses piled. 3 crumpled in the grinder. But they pressed, skiffs launching. Soren's fleet hammered back. Coalition guns lit the void. But politics choked them. No full broadsides. Fear of friendly hits. Tressa screamed orders. Hold fire. Humans are silent. Lost. Keen ignored it. Logistics frigate status? Kestrel's core primed. Chief replied. Crippled but mobile. Scuttling charge armed. Helm. Vector her in. Relentless shuddered as another burst wall shredded a raider wing. Juno's feeds showed surgical hits. Engines popped. No hull breaches wasted. Debris density at 80%, she reported. Skiffs blind. Rax's flag closed to 10 clicks. His voice boomed galaxy-wide. Humans flee. Coalition! Cowards! Yield to nodes! Keen scopes tracked Kestrel's tumble. The wreck aligned perfect, straight at Rax's lead skiff swarm. Enemy boarders swarmed it. Mag clamps biting. Detonate, Keen said. Kestrel's core blew. Plasma fireball engulfed 20 skiffs. Shrapnel chainsawed the rest. Rax's flankers recoiled. Half their terror force vapor. Admiral Soren's frills locked wide on restored scopes. Keen, you baited them into your own grave? Not ours, Keen replied. Channels live again. Yours held the anvil. We swung the hammer. Coalition cheers crackled. Tressa's tone shifted. Reckless accountants. It works. Rax rallied. His main force, 100+ heavies, burned in from the long scan. Flankers regrouped, scarred but furious. They massed for the kill. Carriers first, then Soren's line. Keen checked tallies. Ammo at 60%. Tenders resupplied mid-burn, drones chaining belts. Juno, orbital pattern, locked. Bombardment queued on Rax's engines. Rules tight. No civs. Relentless led the charge. Pitted armor shrugged rail hits. Coalition heavies slotted behind. Their massed fire now synced. Trust bought in blood. Enemy slugs grazed. A tender crumpled. Keen felt the deck buck. Damage. Hull breach. Sealed. Damage control snapped. Logistics rerouting power. Rax's raiders looped for another pass. Skiffs relaunched. Fewer. Meaner. They aimed for Relentless's bridge. Point defense wall. Full, Keen said. Juno unleashed. Bursts timed to the millisecond. Missiles bloomed into debris oceans. Skiffs plowed in. Half shredded, half clamped, desperate. Boarding alarms wailed. Marines, Keen ordered. Flush them. Bulkheads slammed. Human squads in vac suits poured fire down corridors. Breaches sealed with thermite. Enemy screams cut short. Soren's voice cut in. Keen, Rax vectors for my core worlds. Politics fray. Species bolt unless we break him now. Plot the ram, Keen said. All tenders forward. Her fleet condensed. Carriers tanked hits, tenders bled fuel to shield. Logistics math held. Resupply drones leapfrogged, ammo flowed. Rax struck. His heavies slammed the line. Coalition ships bucked. 2 heavies cracked open venting crews. Tress's shuttle dodged debris. They're everywhere. Keen stayed ice. Juno. Fire. Orbital barrages dropped. Surgical lances pierced Rax's engine blocks. No wild volleys. Human discipline carved engines from hulls. Enemy heavies slowed, drift killed. Aliens gaped. Soren's frills pulsed awe. You shoot, like surgeons in storm. Checklists, Keen said. Now flank. Relentless wheeled. Carriers punched gaps. Tenders rammed debris into enemy paths. Stubborn logistics as weapons. Rax's flag twisted. Primitives. You die for strangers? Keen's guns answered. Slugs cored his shields. But Rax adapted. Raider wings feinted carriers struck Soren's flank. Coalition panic spiked. 3 species signaled surrender. Tressa barked. Keen, reinforce. They're breaking. Helm. Micro jumped to Soren's van. Relentless blinked out. Reappeared in the kill zone. Guns roared. Juno's fires gutted Raider's midboard. Soren's line stabilized. Coalition guns synced full. Trust locked. Rax massed for desperation. All heavies on Relentless. 200 slugs inbound. Wall, Keen said. Debris choked space. Missiles died. Raiders piled in. Keen watched Kestrel's sister, Ren, tumble primed. Ram vector. Ren slammed a Raider cluster. Detonation chained. Dozens gone. Rax howled. His flag burned engines hot. Closing for melee. Keen smiled thin. Tenders! Overload injectors! Drone swarm now! Logistics chief nodded. Fuel pods cracked open. Chaff clouds. Decoys. Minefields blooming. Rax plunged blind. Trap sprung. Explosions ripped his van. Half his force drifted dead. Soren pressed. Coalition heavies hammered flanks. Tressa's voice steadied. Humans bleed for us. Galaxy sees. Keen scanned. Rax's remnants fled. Nodes held. Casualties mounted. Relentless's bays empty of fighters, tenders gutted. Resupply ping, she ordered. Drones swarmed anew. Alarms blared fresh. Hyperwave spike. Rax's reserves, bigger hammer inbound. Juno looked up. They're doubling down. Keen tapped her timer. 8 minutes left. Plot the next board. Logistics holds. Soren forwarded pledges. Full fleets inbound, trust forged. Tressa whispered live. Not saviors, surgeons. Bleeding for strangers. Rax's taunt cut. 1 node falls. All follow. Keen leaned forward. Not today. Relentless burned on. Explosions chained. The galaxy's war turned. 1 trap, 1 checklist at a time. Admiral Soren Val keyed the override. Orbital fires authorized. Relentless, you have green light on surface targets. Coalition senators erupted across the split-screen hololink. A avian delegate from the Quillari sector flapped its wings in fury. Val, humans will glass our worlds. Revoke now. Soren's tentacles clenched the armrest. Screens flickered with Relentless's targeting grid. Captain Keen's fleet hung in high orbit above Epsilon Node Prime. The fractured world's capital choked by enemy ground forces. Rax's reserves punched through the hyperwave barrier, raiders dropping like hornets toward the last Allied holdouts. Without fire support, the node fell in hours. It died, Soren barked. Enemy artillery pins our troops. Hospitals cluster nearby. Human precision is our only shot. A reptilian senator from the Drakari enclave hissed. Precision? They bomb with rocks, oneness, and we indict you for genocide. Soren muted the channel. Trust hung by threads. Coalition fleets trickled in, but panic spread faster. Member species bolted for surrender pacts. He patched to Juno's fire control. Commander, your window opens. Make it surgical. Juno's voice cut crisp from Relentless. Rods spinning up, Admiral. Targets locked. Soren watched the feed. Thick cloud layers shrouded the city below. Enemy guns nested in urban sprawl, zeroing refugee towers. 1 barrage more, and millions died. Commander Ilex Juno gripped the fire console. Primary salvo, 12 rods, kinetic only. Drop vectors confirmed. Her team synced. Gunners plotted trajectories through the storm front. LiDAR piercing vapor. Enemy artillery blinked red on overlays, hulking emplacements amid hab blocks. Blue icons dotted hospitals, schools, shelters. Row E ironclad. No blue touched. Fire, Juno said. Relentless shuddered. Tungsten rods, each a spear of depleted metal, 30 tons apiece, launched from spinal tubes. They screamed atmosphere, friction blooming plasma wakes. Clouds boiled as the first struck. Impact quaked the grid. Enemy gun number 1 vaporized. Crater swallowed barrels and ammo dumps. No splash to adjacent towers. Second wave, Juno ordered. Adjust for wind shear. Rods punched down like lightning. Artillery 2 and 3 crumpled. Shrapnel pinged harmlessly off shield domes over refugee zones. Sensors confirmed. Every shelter stayed lit. Life signs steady. Juno's XO whistled. Pinpoint, ma'am. Enemies blind now. Below, Allied ground forces surged. Coalition troops, Sorini skirmishers, Drakari heavies, pushed from bunkers. Rax infantry reeled. Juno scanned fresh targets. Elevator base next. Keen's Marines inbound. Captain Mara Keen braced in the drop shuttle's harness. ETA 30 seconds. Marines, sealants hot. Cut the lift cable clean. Her team, 40 armored figures from Relentless's Marine detachment, clutched mag rifles. The captured space elevator loomed below, a carbon nanotube tether snaking from Epsilon's surface to geosync docks. Rax's raiders held it, funneling supplies down to their hammer reserves. Sever it, and the enemy starved. Shuttle thundered through anti-air fire. Bursts rattled hull. Keen's HUD pinged. Enemy pickets massed at the base. Hard drop, she called. Pilots slammed retros. The shuttle kissed dirt amid a storm of tracers. Marines piled out. Keen led point, rifle barking. 2 raiders dropped, headshots through visor slits. Flank left, she shouted. Her squad laid suppressing fire. Grenades cracked enemy barricades. They stormed the base control spire. Rax's troops, hulking brutes with plasma claws, charged. Keen sidestepped a swipe, drove her vibroknife into a joint. The brute howled, collapsed. Logistics breach. Keen keyed her comm. Cutters to the tether anchors. Marines swarmed the core. Fusion torches whirred. Cable groaned, stressed to yield point. Enemy reinforcements boiled from lifts. Keen pivoted. Suppress and hold! Rounds chewed barricades. A Marine grunted. Hit. Keen dragged him back. Sealant foam hissing over the wound. Torch leads yelled clear. Keen hit the override. Explosives popped microcharges. The tether whipped free, tumbling into the atmosphere like a falling star. Supply pods rained burning wreckage. Rax's logistics lifeline severed. Exfil now, Keen ordered. Shuttles swooped. Her team piled in, enemy fire chasing. 1 Marine limped. Keen hauled him aboard. Relentless's bays swallowed them. Med drones swarmed. Keen wiped blood from her faceplate. Node secure. Resupply tenders inbound. Envoy Tressinal clutched a bulkhead in the coalition shuttle. Turbulence bucked as it fled the surface chaos. Human dropships flanked her. Relentless's tenders, bloated with evac pods. They're loading civilians, her aide gasped. Not just fighters. Tressa peered through the canopy. Below, amid smoldering artillery craters, human Marines waved alien families aboard. Kolari fledglings chirped in terror. Marines bundled them gentle, priority over gear. Drakari clutches lumbered up ramps, humans heaving crates of medical cryo units. 1 tender groaned under weight. 2,000 refugees, jammed stem to stern. No questions, no triage by species. Tressa's comm buzzed. Soren's voice. Envoy? Witness secured? She swallowed. Humans treated strangers like cargo worth dying for. Marines bled from elevator scraps. Yet tenders launched full. Logistics chains unbroken. Patch me to Keen, Tressa said. Relentless's bridge answered. Keen's face filled the screen, calm amid red alerts. Rax reserves clawed closer. Hyperdrive blooms on scopes. Captain, Tressa said. Your fires spared the shelters. Marines evac my people first. Coalition command fractures without unity. Joint pact. Now. Full integration. Keen nodded once. Sensors show your fleet sinking. Send auth codes. We'll slot your heavies on flanks. Tressa forwarded the packet. Senator's protests died in her earpiece. Vol's override held. Done. Humans lead fires. We hold the line. Agreement locked. Tressa's shuttle docked with a tender. She stepped aboard. Human crew saluted, waved her to a crash couch amid alien young. A Marine handed her a ration pack. Ma'am, 8 minutes to orbit. Tressa gripped it. Not saviors. Surgeons, bleeding for strangers. Soren's bridge thrummed. Fresh data flooded. Keen's trap sprung planetside. Elevator down. Rax's ground push stalled. Orbital feeds showed refugee towers glowing steady. Human rods deleted guns alone. Senators blinked silent. The avian delegates' wings drooped. Casualties? 0 civilian, Soren said. Human precision. Relentless pivoted. Tenders dumping drone swarms. Coalition heavies. Serini lances. Drakari hammers formed up. Rax's flag screamed challenge. One node crumbles. All follow. Juno's voice patched fleet-wide. Fresh salvo prepped. Targets. Enemy reserves and drop. Rods streaked anew. Clouds parted for thunder. Keen's timer hit 0. Board set. Logistics holds. Rax's reserves shattered mid-descent. Pods bloomed fireballs. His remnants scattered. Tressa watched from the tender. Humans didn't conquer. They scheduled victory. One rod. One evac. One severed line at a time. Soren leaned forward. Pledges poured in. Full fleets. Unbreakable. But scopes pinged deeper. Rax's true hammer. Shadow fleets massing beyond the node. Next wave plots, Keen transmitted. Allies, sink or sink. The galaxy held. For now. Captain Mara Keen's fingers flew across the holotable. Engineering teams reroute power conduits from bays 3 through 7. Fuel drones on hot standby. Cycle every 90 seconds. Crew snapped to action. The ruined trade station loomed in the viewport, a skeletal husk pocked by Rax's parting plasma scars. Ketri raiders had gutted it weeks ago, leaving twisted girders and venting atmosphere. Keen's tenders clamped on like iron ticks. 6 hours. That was her window before Vol's coalition stragglers arrived fuel-dry and mutinous. Captain, Lieutenant Rao reported. Structural integrity at 47%. We patch or we pivot. Pivot's not on the menu. Keen zoomed the schematic. Human work crews in exosuits swarmed the docks, welding fresh tanks from Relentless's spares. Drone haulers zipped in from the gas giant's rings, slurry tanks bulging with refined helium. Prioritize refuel arms. Repair bays second. We turn this graveyard into a pump station. Alarms blared as a girder buckled. Keen's jaw tightened. No losses. Not on her watch. Stabilize with mag clamps. Double up on the braces. 4 hours in, the first coalition frigate nosed into the slot. Soren Vol's voice crackled over comms. Human Captain Keen, this is coalition flag. Advise status. My heavies burn reserves holding jump points. Keen glanced at the timer. 5:42. Dock confirmed, Admiral. Fuel flow initiating. Full tanks in 20. Transmit manifests. I'll slot your fleet. Silence stretched. Then, manifests incoming. 3 mutinies brewing in my flanks. Captain's demand pullback. Not today.
Keen keyed fleet-wide.
Juno. Orbital pattern locked. Boys deploying. Commander Ilex Juno's feed popped up, her targeting grid alive with Firefly icons. Boys away, Captain. 500 microsats seeding the system. Enemy goes blind in 10. Keen nodded. Her trap layered deeper than rods. Sensors would ghost Rax's probes, feeding false echoes while Relentless's guns stayed fed. On Soren Vol's flag bridge, the avian admiral's feathers ruffled. Manifests synced to Keen's schedule. Drakari hammers first berth. Full refuel projected 12 minutes. Captain snarled over the net. A Serini Lance commander barked, "We fracture formation for human charity? My crews starve on vapors?" Vol slammed a talon on the console. Proof streams live. Watch. Holos bloomed. Keen station, tenders pumping plasma like clockwork. Fuel gauges climbed on the lead Drakari. Mutineers' voices faltered. Admiral. Reserves at 5%, a subordinate hissed. Rax masses. Shadows beyond the Ort. Vol's eyes narrowed. Keen schedules us unbreakable. Reroute lances to her line. Hammers hold the van. We sink or scatter. Pledges locked in. Mutinies crumbled under live feeds of glowing tanks. Vol's fleets funneled tight. A steel river to Keen's pumps. Keen watched the procession from the station's makeshift CIC. Frigates gulped fuel. Carriers spat repaired fighters. Her crews rotated seamless, humans hauling hoses beside alien techs. No egos, just flow. Captain, Juno patched in. Boys report contacts. Rax reserves punching the blockade. Burning hot. Keen's holotable lit red. Ket Rax's warlord flag screamed through the outer pickets. Raiders flaring engines to ram speeds. No subtlety. Pure blitz. Status on munitions? Keen demanded. Relentless topped off? Juno replied. Coalition heavies at 87%, per your slots. Rods chambered. Transmit boy ghosts. Let him chase phantoms. Keen traced the enemy vector. Rax gambled reserves to crack the shell. Smart, if he smelled weakness. But her sensors lied. Decoy signatures pulled his van wide, bleeding their thrust. Rax's bridge shuddered. Punch it. Terror breaks them. The warlord's tusks gleamed under crimson lights. His raiders shed heat shields in the charge, pods crammed with shock troops for the core worlds. Sensors screamed ghosts. Coalition heavies where none stood, illusions. Rax roared. Burn through. His reserves torched fuel at triple rate. Blockade pickets buckled under massed fire. But Keen's buoys whispered truths. Ammo bays dipped low on his tails. Raiders arrived ragged. Launchers starved. They're through. Low and lean, Juno confirmed. Targets acquired. Keen keyed Val. Admiral, enemy breached outer shell. Fuel holds? Affirmative, Val snapped. Your schedule saves us. Hammers inbound. Tressenol gripped her crash couch as the tender bucked into the refuel queue. Human Marines waved her shuttle priority, alien envoy, amid the rush. Ma'am, one said, tossing a fresh pack. Tanks in 5. She clutched it, mandibles clicking. Humans didn't roar victories. They stacked crates, patched hulls, kept the lights on. Her shuttle docked clean, station arms latched, slurry pumping audible through the deck. Keen's voice boomed station-wide. All berths full. Spin up for Phase 2. Tressa peered out. Endless tenders zipped, drones seeding the void. Coalition ships shed battle scars, guns hungry again. Rax's remnants clawed inward, munitions flickering dry. His flag-potted troops desperate. One breach. Worlds fall. Juno's rods answered first. Surgical lances deleted raider clusters. No cities touched. Val's hammers hammered home, lances spearing flanks. Keen's table cleared ghosts. Real scopes showed Rax's core exposed. Juno, surgical on flag supports. Admiral, envelop. Coalition fire synced perfect. Rax's line cracked. Pods veered blind, buoys denying eyes. Warlord Rax bellowed as rails gutted his van. Reserves, spent. Pull reserves. No reserves left. His blitz bled out. Falls Bridge erupted cheers. Human logistics turns the tide. Keen muted the praise. Cycle tenders, next wave inbound. Scopes pinged deeper shadows. Rax's true hammer, fleets massing silent, but her pumps hummed. Guns stayed hot. Tressa stepped onto the station deck. Human crew saluted crisp. Keen approached, tablet in hand. Envoy null. Berth secure? Tressa met her gaze. You bleed fuel for us. Why? Keen shrugged. Schedules don't care who pays. Galaxy holds the line together. Fresh alarms wailed. Rax shadows jumped in system, vast and vengeful. Keen's timer reset. All hands Phase 3. Logistics endures. Rax's dreadnoughts erupted from jump. Plasma lances stabbing straight for Admiral Val's flagship. Keen's scopes lit red. 200 enemy hulls, fresh from shadow docks, vectored on the Coalition heart. Her bridge crew snapped to stations. Enemy flag signals all channels. Comms officer barked. Rax's gravel voice boomed through open hails. Val cowers. Yield your bridge, or watch your worlds burn first. Humans, choose now. Your tin cans, or his throne. Keen's fingers flew across her tablet. Logistics overlays snapped into place. Fuel states green, ammo chains full, tenders cycling hot. Val's ship lagged, engines scarred from Phase 2. No time for debate. Destroyers Alpha through Delta. Interpose on Val's vector. Full burn. Shields forward. Accept all hits. Her XO glanced up, eyes wide. She met his stare. Confirm, Captain? Confirm. Buy him seconds. We resupply mid-fire. Destroyers peeled off, thrusters flaring white. They slotted between Rax's wolves and the Admiral's wounded Leviathan. Torpedoes bloomed. Rax's lead squadron unleashed a storm. Relativistic slugs, each a city killer. Keen watched her destroyers drink the barrage. Alpha buckled first, hull venting atmosphere in golden plumes. Delta's forward shields collapsed, rails silenced as decks crumpled. Damage reports, Keen demanded. Alpha gone, Beta at 40%. Gamma and Delta holding, ma'am. Val's channel crackled. Captain Keen, pull back. Your losses, negative, Admiral. Your flag lives. Envelop their flanks now. Coalition cruisers surged, lances sinking with her survivors. Rax's voice snarled back. Fools, your scrap heaps buy nothing. Keen ignored him. Her pumps hummed, tenders darting to Gamma's side. Drones swarmed, patching shield emitters mid-burn. Juno, eyes on Rax's flag. Surgical window? Commander Juno's voice cut crisp from orbital command. Affirmative. Shield seam at azimuth 270, cycling every 11 seconds. Laser designator locked. Keen nodded. Fire through the gap. One rod only, no collaterals. Juno's feeds patched live. A pencil-thin beam danced across the void, painting Rax's command ship. The seam yawned. A kinetic rod dropped silent from high orbit, 10 tons of iridium. Accelerated to Mach 20. Impact flashed. Rax's bridge dome shattered. Secondary blasts ripped through his core, his dreadnought listed, engines guttering. Flag support crippled, Juno reported. Raiders scattering. Keen's scopes cleared ghosts. Rax's remnants clawed for distance, but her destroyers, Beta limping, Gamma venting, held the line. Val's hammers pounded home, fracturing the enemy van. Cheers rippled across coalition nets. Keen muted them. Tenders to Beta, cycle ammo. Rax pulls reserves. Fresh pings lit deep scopes. Rex's true hammer, carrier swarms deploying boarding pods. Troop-laden and desperate, his flag twitched, rallying. All ships, Phase 3 pivot. Logistics chain priority. Her fleet danced. Carriers seeding drones. Factories spitting missiles. Envoy Tressa's shuttle docked amid the chaos, clamps thudding home. Keen glanced at the airlock feed. The alien diplomat strode out, flanked by her aides. Eyes locked on the damage boards. Human crew saluted sharp. Tressa waved them off, marching straight to the bridge. Keen turned from her tablet. Envoy. Berth secure? Tressa halted, mandibles clicking. Her gaze swept the flickering hollows, destroyers redlined, tenders burning fuel at triple rates. You threw hulls at his blades. For Val? For us? Keen shrugged, tapping a resupply queue. Schedules demanded. Val falls. Coalition fractures. Galaxy needs the line held. Tressa pulled a data slate from her vest, then witnessed this. She thrust it forward. Treaty terms glowed. Full human integration into War Council. Logistics command shared. Orbital fires under joint ROE. Keen scanned it. Tight clauses, no traps. Admiral Val approves. He transmits now. Your stubborn pumps shamed us. Sign, Captain, or watch us surrender while you bleed alone. Keen's stylus danced. Digital ink sealed it. Tressa snatched the slate back, mandibles firming. Humans inside. No more outsiders. Alarms wailed anew. Rax carriers jumped reinforcements. Boarding claws aimed at Val's flanks. Pods streaked. Troops hungry for decks. Keen's bridge tensed. Juno. Tag clusters. Surgical only. No allied hulls. Rods lanced precise, deleting pods mid-void. Val's voice boomed fleet-wide. Humans lead envelop. For the community. Coalition fire synced flawless. Rax's carriers cracked, but his flag potted assault shuttles straight at Keen's battered command ship. They dare us again, her XO growled. Keen reset her timer. Tenders inbound, guns hot. We endure. Tressa gripped a console, watching drones knit Beta's wounds. Your losses mount. Why persist? Keen pointed to scopes, enemy pods veering blind, buoys jamming their eyes. Logistics, we replace faster. They don't. Gamma's rails spat, gutting a shuttle swarm. Rax's hail cracked open. Keen, yield your bridge, or I glass your tenders. She keyed response. Try it, Warlord. Our chain holds. Juno's voice cut in. Orbital window on his pod launchers. Designator hot. Keen greenlit. Another rod pierced shields, vaporizing bays. Rax bellowed retreat signals. His hammer bled out, carriers limping to jump. Vol's cruisers pursued, lances hungry. Keen's pumps thrummed steady. Tressa exhaled, slate clutched tight. Council integration live. Your phase 3, it works. Keen nodded. Cycle for phase 4. Deeper scopes pinged. Rax's shadows massed again, vast, vengeful, with extinction lances primed. Her destroyers reformed. Tenders fueling. All hands, Keen ordered. Logistics endures. Galaxy holds. Rax's next wave jumped, not at Val, but straight for her heart. Pods swarmed her tenders. Keen's fingers blurred. Interpose again. By the future. Destroyers burned forward, hulls ready to break. Tressa stared. Madness. Keen smiled faint. Method. Beta took the first hits. Armor crumpling. Gamma followed, but rods answered. Juno's lances deleting enemy spines. Val's flag wheeled, covering her flank. Coalition guns roared unified. Rax's voice faded to static. His blitz shattered. Cheers erupted. Keen muted them. Resupply. Next inbound. Tressa stepped closer. Voice low. You bleed for strangers. Why? Keen met her eyes. Schedules don't discriminate. Win together or lose alone. Fresh alarms howled. Rax's final reserves clawed in. Desperate. All in. Keen's timer spun. Phase 4. Endure. Pods breached a tender. Marine scrambled. Juno tagged reinforcements. Rods fell true. Val's hammers sealed the kill. Rax's flag vented coreward. Silent. The Warlord's end flashed bright. Coalition scopes cleared. Keen leaned back. Pumps hummed. Galaxy breathed, but shadows lingered deep. Bigger fleets massed. Her chain reset. Council? Status? Val replied. Humans lead, forever. Tressa signed final addendums. Humanity sat at the table. Guns stayed hot. Logistics endured. Sensors screamed. Fleeing signatures dotted Keen's plot. Rax's shattered remnants. Corvettes limping coreward. Escape pods blooming from the debris. Alpha Squadron, pursue. Keen snapped. Destroyers screen. No kills on pods. Boarding teams prep. Lieutenant Hale's voice crackled. Captain. Pods could pack nukes. Rax style. Risk accepted. Intel first. Keen's fingers danced across the logistics board. Fuel states green. Ammo tallies held. Her fleet surged. Tenders trailing supply chains like stubborn tethers. Val's flag loomed on comms. Her alien frills quivering in the hollow. Human Keen. Pods are enemy. Fire. Negative, Admiral. We take prisoners. Codes. Plans. Yours now. Keen's destroyers closed the net. Point defense lances flicked, shredding drone screens. Pods tumbled into tractor beams. Tressanal's shuttle docked amid the chaos. The envoy burst onto the bridge. Scales flushed violet. After that bloodbath, Keen didn't look up. Ghosts carry data. Secure them! Marines in powered suits jetted across the void. Grapples bit into potholes. Breaches sealed. First reports pinged. Crew alive. No traps. Transponders yielding. Val's tone sharpened. Pod secured. Now what, Captain? Keen's plot updated. Enemy codes decrypted in real time. Jump vectors. Reserve fleets massing at Relay Prime. Advance, Admiral. My plan. Unedited. Coalition forms the hammer. Humans the anvil. Silence stretched. Val's eyes narrowed, then widened. Approved, as written. All ships. Execute Human Keen's Phase 5. Cheers rippled across channels, but Keen muted them. Helm, plot intercept. Logistics push. The fleet wheeled. Val's cruisers led the van, their plasma hammers glowing hot. Keen's destroyers flanked. Rods chambered. Tenders pumped fuel mid-burn. Drones swapping missile pods on the fly. Enemy corvettes twisted to fight. Lances met hammers. Debris fields bloomed. Juno's voice cut in from fire control. Targets painted. Rules tight. Ships only. Surgical. Rods dropped true. Enemy spines cracked. Val's line held. No fractures. Coalition guns sang in sync. Tressa gripped a rail, watching the dance. Your discipline, not savagery. Pods spared. Fires precise. Keen nodded once. Bleed smart. Win long. The last Corvette vented. Pods ejected. More intel. Keen's team snagged them. Codes flowed. Full enemy order of battle. Next wave timelines. Ball's flag pulled alongside. Intercept secured. Your plan flawless. Coalition execution. Keen corrected. Now, broadcast. Tressa activated her console. Galaxy-wide channels lit. Her voice boomed, sharp and clear. Galactic community. Ear envoy Tressa Null. The blitz breaks, not by human brutality, but discipline. They pursued, spared pods, planned without ego. Humans bleed for us. We stand with them. Static hissed. Replies flooded. Alien councils pledging ships. Worlds rallying. Trust rebuilt in megatons. Keen leaned forward. Admiral Vol. Council link open. Transferring codes. Full enemy navs. Fleet comps. Data packets beamed. All staff scrambled to integrate, but, Keen added, voice steel. Learn to fight together. Drills start now. My tenders run sims. Your crews cross-train. Next wave hits in 48 hours. Bigger, coordinated. Schedules don't wait. Vol's frills stiffened. Demands from a captain. Offers from logistics. We hold the line. You learn the rhythm. Keen's eyes locked on the plot. Shadows deepened. Hyperspace pings at system edge. Commander Juno patched in. Pods cracked. Warlord second in command. Aboard Beta. Talking. Extract everything, Keen ordered. No torture. Facts only. Marines reported. Ket Rax's air. Broken but alive. Spilled reserves. 3 carrier groups. Blitz raiders. Terror weapons primed for core worlds. Tressa watched the interrogations via feed. Human Marines offered water. Repeated questions calm. No fists. No screams. The alien cracked faster than under pain. Your way, Tressa murmured. Stubborn questions. Keen's bridge hummed. Tenders resupplied at speed, swapping hull plates mid-spin. Destroyers cycled crews, fresh eyes on scopes. Vol convened the council hollow. Alien faces filled the grid. Tentacled admirals, crystalline strategists, furred generals. Panic lingered in their tones. Humans hand us victory, Vol declared. Now they demand unity. Drills commence. Objections rose. Humans lead too much! A squid-like envoy waved arms. Keen broke in, uninvited. We follow your counsel. But fight disjointed? You die first. She patched sim data, past fractures, simulated losses. Silence fell. A crystal admiral pulsed agreement. Train. As humans. Schedule. Schedules locked. Mixed crews shuttled. Vol's hammer gunners to Juno's rod bays. Human logistics chiefs drilled alien tenders on chain integrity. Keen paced her bridge. Fuel flows peaked. Ammo racks full. Her plot spun forward. 48 hours ticking. Alarms chirped. Shuttle from Vol docked. The admiral strode in, flanked by Tressa. Captain Keen. Vol saluted, fist to chest. Your code saved fleets. Drills integrate. Keen returned it. Good. Test run now. Mock advance on Relay Prime. They ran it. Coalition ships danced. Hammers covered rods. Tenders held without drag. No collisions. Fire synced. Tressa transmitted updates. See, Galaxy? Discipline binds us. Replies surged. Reinforcements en route. Factories retooled to human specs. Juno's voice cut through. Captain, prisoner confirms. Next wave. 200 hulls. Carriers dropping terror swarms. Keen's timer reset. Logistics endures. Prep phase 6. Ball nodded. Together, pods from the corvettes yielded more. Rax's terror playbook. Orbital strikes on civvy hubs, forcing surrenders. Keen locked rules of engagement tighter. No city shots. Blockades only. Juno. Tag factories. Surgical. Tenders fabricated drone screens. Human designs, alien crews building. Night cycle fell. Night cycle fell. Keen stood watch. Tressa lingered. You refuse easy kills. Tressa said. Pods. Prisoners. Why trust enemies? Keen tapped her board. Trust schedules. One leak. Chain breaks. We build futures, not graves. Hyperspace warped. Enemy probes. Testing. Destroyers pounced. Pods captured again. Cycle repeated. Vol's fleet grew. Coalition stragglers folding in, drilled tight. Council voted. Humans permanent led on logistics. Keen's chain anchored them. Tressa signed the decree. Discipline, not dominance. Keen smiled faint. Win together. Fresh pings howled. Next wave cresting. Carriers bloomed. Swarms spawning. All hands, Keen ordered. Phase 6. Buy the future. Vol's hammers charged. Juno's rods primed. Tenders fueled the storm. The galaxy learned fast. Or burned. Keen's fleet endured.